So as I continued to go through my items, I was pretty surprised, I was pretty shocked to some of the things that just was not going to be coming with me. And I couldn't believe that I was using some of these products. Then there's also the top shelf where, I mean, some of these things just, it's almost laughable that, again, I was given this on my wedding day, but plastic.
Yeah, I know I look good, yeah, I look fly. Baby, I'm just your type. I'm a baddie. I'm a baddie. Yeah, I know I look good, yeah, I look fly. Baby, I'm just your type.
You know, I've got all these champagne glasses and it's like, yeah, because I thought I was going to have so many cocktail parties. So George and I sold our house a couple of weeks ago, and I decided that with the minimalistic and frugal lifestyle that we are now embracing, and particularly that we have a family with this MTHFR gene, I am going to be going through my kitchen to see what is going to stay and what is going to go. I think people really need to be aware about some of the health risks that are in your kitchen that hasn't really been brought to attention. And I think that is a massive issue and it needs to be addressed. And I'm going to share with you what I find, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts on what I do find. The more I've been learning about this MTHFR gene and the implications with environmental toxins and exposure to particular chemicals and materials that are particularly inside the house as well as in our natural environment, it's quite concerning that some of these items are still being sold on the market. And I really think it's important that people be aware about some of the hidden dangers that hasn't really been brought to life, or it might be, but it's just not really spoken in mainstream. And I want to bring it to people's attention. So the goal here is to keep your jeans super squeaky clean. And someone who has the MTHFR gene might want to consider some of these things that I'm going to be sharing with you over the next few moments that you might not have considered before. And it was brought to my attention, and I think knowing what I know now, I feel I have a duty of care, and that's probably the psychologist coming out of me, but I have a duty of care to share this information. So come along with me and let me show you some of the things that I have found to empower you to make the choices that you need to make to keep yourself healthy and safe in your own home. Sandwich press. Quick, easy snack, but look at it peeling there. Inside, scratch peeling. This will be going. Another reason why it's going is because of what it's made from. It's kind of frightening that they're still selling this when it can make you really, really unwell. But if you look at the model number, we'll look it up on the internet, and then yeah, he ain't coming with us. So my concern is, how do we dispose of something like that?
It's going to fall down and break.
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
So my concern is, how do you dispose of something like that? Because I don't want to give it to someone because I know I'm putting someone else's health at risk. And at the same time, I don't want to dispose of it because I'm harming the environment. So what do you do with it? What do you do with these products or appliances that you want to get rid of, but in a safe manner? So what I do, went over online.
I'm a baddie. I'm a baddie. Yeah, I know I look good.
So looking at the model, BREVI, Breville. So they're selling these bad boys at Bingley, Amazon, JB Hi-Fi, a little bit more. But they're starting from about $99. Oh, there's the camera. They're starting about $99. And it's absolutely frightening because knowing what I know now about what's in these appliances, how can they possibly be selling something like this knowing full well that what it's made of is making people sick? And it's not making people sick right now, but in the long term, the repercussions of this is really frightening. Construction materials. Stainless steel with heavy-duty die-cast arms and aluminium cooking plates. And if we do look at what you should be cooking with and what you shouldn't be cooking with, Well, let's go back to our list, shall we?
I'm a baddie.
I've been taking quite a lot of notes because I really want to make sure that the products that stay are safe, sustainable for my family. The things that are going are the ones that are not safe and the ones that are keeping my family sick and are basically poisoning them slowly, which again is horrific to even think about. But if we have a look at that list, according to what Alex Stewart, I mean, she's done a ton of research, and go ahead and follow her over on Instagram because the information that she's got out there, let me show you the list that she says to stay away from. Let me just see if I can find the page here. So let's see what's leaving the kitchen. So if we have a look here, it says stay away from aluminium pots and pans. It also says non-stick PTFE, PFOA or PFC coated frying pans, saucepans, sandwich presses, toasted sandwich makers and baking trays. That's pretty much everything in your kitchen. Well, let me check this. This is actually made, this actually says aluminium cooking plates. So it doesn't take a scientist to figure that that's definitely going. So I'm just going to take it a step further and I'm just going to Google this, okay? Because the product contains aluminium. And if I just happen to Google, why is aluminium pots and pans so bad for you?
According to Cookware Advisor, aluminum reacts with acidic food which causes the metal to leach into the food. Because of that, you will find that most of the aluminum cookware that is available is either coated with a non-stick layer or is anodized.
And what do you think that non-stick layer is made from?
I'm a baddie.
So the thing with the MTHFR gene is, even though you might be born with a defect on that gene, it's a little bit more harder for someone who has that gene to be able to detox, or it's a little bit more challenging for your liver to be able to function at its full capacity. So for example, Leah has 2 of the MTHFR genes and her body is only operating or is only able to operate at a 50% capacity, whereas Summer has 1 of the genes and her body is only able to operate at 75%. And when I say able to operate at that capacity, it means that her body is not able to detox heavy metals that are found in her everyday environment, and that's through the food she eats, through the air she breathes, and just the general exposure. Even though you might not have been born with this defect on the MTHFR gene, that MTHFR gene might have gotten dirty over the years or the course of your life, just because of the ongoing toxins that you are constantly being bombarded with every single day. It does get to that crunch point where overexposure, it's causing your body to work hard. It's causing your body to work harder than it needs to. So knowing what I know now, how can I possibly give it away to someone knowing full well that it would hurt someone and potentially harm their health? And how can I just dispose of it in the garbage when there's a risk to the environment? It's like a catch-22. So how do you dispose of it safely? I needed to do some more research. So it turns out there actually is no effective way to dispose of Teflon and these cooking appliances. Yes, there's a lot of items that can be recycled. There's a lot of metals that can be recycled, but once they're infused with other metals, it turns out that it makes it a little bit more tricky. And in fact, I read somewhere that it is more expensive to try and dispose of these materials and try to recycle them, and it ends up just being in landfill. And that is absolutely disgusting as a human species. How can we just, can't do anything with it, it's too expensive? Is it seriously all about the money? Because that's what it feels like. Come on, people. Come on. We can do better than this. So what I decided to do is send Breville an email to say what is the best way to dispose of this appliance in a safe manner. And let's see what they come back with. Okay, here is another appliance that I got when I got married. It is a Sunbeam rice cooker. And again, this one is about to go anyway, only because we've dropped it a few times and it's a little bit dented around the edge there and the lid doesn't close properly. So it's time to go, but I want to do a little bit of research on this product because I want to see, and I'm almost like cringing, but I want to see exactly what it's made from, because I would hate to think that when I was cooking rice in this thing, it was leaching heavy metals into the food. And the food that I buy is organic, which is pesticide free and fungicide and herbicide and all the rest of the sides. It doesn't contain any of that. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what it's made from and whether it stays or whether it goes. Although it is going to go because it's reached its life cycle, so it's going anyway.
I'm a baddie.
The model is RC23000. So I went straight to the Sunbeam website, and because I wasn't able to find specifications on this one, and according to what they've got on the market now, when I look at the non-stick inner pot and whether it is or not, all it says is yes. It doesn't even explain what it's made from. All it says is the construction finish is plastic. Now, what are you hiding? Why haven't you told us what this is made from? The only other thing I found was on Wikipedia, and it says that most modern rice cookers use aluminium for the inner cooking bowl, and there are some models that use stainless steel instead of aluminium. I think this one is probably the most classic in the kitchen, and it's this bad boy. A microwave. Studies have shown what happens to the food when it's been heated in the microwave. So why are they still selling this? Is this one coming with us? Probably not. So I hope I have brought to light some of the hidden dangers that you do find in your kitchen. And I do hope that you do, I guess, pay a little bit more attention to some of the items that you might have there and that you thought, hey, I thought this was safe. But it turns out it's actually toxic, or it could potentially make you quite unwell later on down the track. Feel free to check out some of my other videos, and I'll link them down below for MTHFR recipes that you might have missed in previous videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.
I'm a baddie. I'm a